Hi folks, my name is Matt and I'm a Senior Lecturer in Enterprise and Transformational Technology, and what we're going to do today is we're going to kick off Content Media Management. So without further ado, let's transition across. And this is what we're going to do today. We're going to look at what we call content in an age of acceleration. Now, first thing I'll say to you is my accent. Scottish, and this is me being polite and, believe it or not, speaking quite slowly. So if you struggle and you're struggling, you can rewind these clips, and I'm going to do this in little clips because we've all got a very low attention span. So what we're going to try and do is do a series of clips, usually under 10 minutes, right? But if I'm speaking too fast or you're struggling to understand the dialect, just ask me to slow down and to repeat. You can repeat here anyway, okay? And you'll get that in class as well. So this here is what's called a trigger warning. These trigger warnings are in case people have a high moral code, they're religious, or they might see things, or we might discuss things that you might find a bit uncomfortable, okay? And you will find things in here that are quite tough to hear and see, okay? So if you're easily offended or whatever, you are excused. But these are there to say that everything that we do, everything that we say has an educational purpose, guys, okay? We do it for a reason, okay? Happy to chat about this with you. Right, so let's crack on. Okay, it's a bit of a cliche, but the first thing I've got to say is really for content media management, or CMM as I call it, really we are on a journey here. And this journey is a journey that we do together. It needs you and me and everybody else, our social networks and whatever else we're going to pull in to basically engage. We make CMM together, okay? So stress this right now. So I don't want to hear tumbleweeds when I get into class. I don't want people, ducking for cover. You've got to kind of throw your 10 pence worth in there. If you're not sure, ask, okay? You get no medals for just sitting quiet, okay? You've got to participate. You've got to try and engage, guys. It's really up to you, right? So what we're going to do today, well, I'm going to do a couple of things, okay? Firstly, what you'll be wanting to know is, well, what is this really all about? At the face of it, it sounds self-evident. Content, yeah, it's about generating digital content, digital marketeers, whatever, building content, and that's what we're going to do. Well, it's actually a bit more complicated than that, because we're going to look at basically the world in which content sits, this age of acceleration, as I say. And this is really about this technological revolution, which is totally reimagine not just marketing, but everything, how we work, how we live, and how we learn, okay? And then the last thing I'm going to jump ahead and say, okay, and we're obviously going to think of content into what we call a future metaverse. And don't worry, some of you guys have heard this in future marketing. You'll know what we're chatting about. But for those guys who are coming to it new, this might kind of blow your mind later down the line. But for content media management, we touch on the metaverse. We have to, guys, because when we think of what I call transformational dark technologies, we talk about the fourth industrial revolution. This is where we are right now. Well, we've got to kind of prepare you, because there's many different forms of content, okay? And how we make that content and what audience that content is targeted at means something. We've got to try to break it all down, okay? So let's jump into the very first thing, which is really what the module's all about and how it's kind of going to work, right? First of all, we've got lectures, okay? Now, lectures are going to be done like this 9 times out of 10. They're going to be recorded. Now, we've always recorded them, and we've always kind of done it like this because we think it's good for you that you can watch the stuff before you go in, so that when we do meet face-to-face or wherever we are, even if we do stuff in VR, then you've hopefully done a little bit of work. It's up to you to listen to them, take notes, make questions, ask online, because we've got the Google Classroom stuff and we've got the G site, so it's up to you to engage. But lectures are going to be done like this, and hopefully I don't need to do it again when I go in class, okay? And the first thing here is we're going to talk about this idea of content and critical relief. What that means is we're going to think a lot deeper about content and about the ideas, theories and practices that lie behind them. But this is something that I am always chatting to people about. My job basically is to pop your logic bubble, your worldview, how you see the world. Whatever age you are, whatever background you come from, whatever culture you come from, we have a worldview, a logical bubble, a logic bubble as I call it, and we see the world in a particular way. And I'm going to challenge you, and challenge how you see that world. And the reason's pretty straightforward, because I tend to think that we see the world through particular glasses, I say a kind of cultural construct of glasses. And my job is to give you a series of new spectacles, if you like, new ideas. And with these ideas, you're hopefully going to think differently. When you put these glasses on, these concepts, these ideas, you're going to think differently, hopefully. It's going to challenge you. And then that's going to make you see the world hopefully differently. You're not just going to accept what you see. And because you do that, you're going to do things differently. Your practice is going to be different. So because you're getting these ideas, these different ways of thinking, that means different ways of doing, and that makes you hopefully different and distinctive rather than just being the same as everybody else, guys, okay? Yeah, so you're going to get all these ideas chucked at you, and we're going to link them to practice, okay? And when we talk about that, then we talk about this idea, because content is not about this whole idea of content media management. It's not about content that's old school, traditional marketing, you know, where you sell, you know, buy this, right? That's not what content today is about this. We're not about just simply selling products, services, or offerings, or experiences even. What we're really about, fundamentally, content nowadays is about trying to genuinely enrich people's lives. Now, that's controversial, and we'll discuss it, right? But key thing about content is the ideas that we're wrapping around content. You're not just selling a holiday, a car, a house, okay, a way of life. It's something else. It's an idea that we're selling, okay? And we'll get into that. So when we think of content and content media management, or really what we would argue is there is only one type of marketing now, which is called targeted content marketing. That's the only thing that exists nowadays technically. And we'll discuss that, you know, critically in the workshops. So that just gets what is content. We think about content media management, get it out the road. But we're going to take these ideas, I'm going to shift me out of the way just for a wee tick. There you go. And we're going to actually do something that obviously you guys are going to be interested in, which is this idea of content and practice, okay? So when we talk about content and practice, basically what we're really talking about is the thing that you really want is what are the types of content and practical stuff are we going to engage with. And really the best way to do this is when we go to the tutorials, okay? We do the face-to-face sessions, because in there we're going to have all these ideas which we're going to clarify. So we're going to clarify some of these concepts like, you know, social cultural theory concepts that I'm going to give you. I'm going to clarify them. Hopefully you'll have done your homework, you'll have a good idea of them. And basically we're going to hopefully try to embed this learning through discussion and debate. And more importantly, it should be student-led. You, okay? I want you to lead it. Don't want you to listen to me all the time. Big thing for me, I am not here to be right, okay? I am what's called a future studies, post-structures future studies at that. So social cultural theory is my bag, and I'm not about here being right. My job is to do one thing, and it's here as I get in the way again. I'm here to help you to think. That's it. Once I'm here to help you to think, and then you can apply this to practical, you know, outputs, practical content creation, hopefully we'll have popped that logic bubble and we'll have produced something new and innovative, and you can see the practical outworkings of that for your future career. That's the whole idea. Again, don't worry about this if you're unsure of certain things. It's only the first session, first lecture, but we're going to clarify. And we clarify in this, what I call them creative clinics. So usually that's like a 2-hour block. The first session's all about the lectures and what did you get, what did you not get, what do you understand, what do you not understand. And then the second session says, right, let's take that stuff and have a kind of creative clinic where what we're going to do is we're going to actually take the ideas that we've been chatting about and we're going to hopefully make something. We're going to do something, okay? And most importantly, we're going to take content and we're going to contextualize it. So we take the concepts, we take the content, and we put it in context, like here. Now, if we've got that idea and we're going to do, let's say, a social media piece, or we're going to do a VR, an AR, an MR piece, or whatever it is, let's do it for, how would this work for, say, somebody like Ferrari, for Gucci, for Nike, for a festival like Burning Man you've got there, or even for Tesco's. You know, you've got Apple Vision Pro there, which is the latest big device hitting the street. How do we do it? How could we make a piece of content or a campaign that would target that audience and make them see this piece of kit or the service or whatever it is, and make their lives better, enrich their lives, and therefore, and what idea would we be selling them so that they would say, I want that, okay? Yeah? That's how it works, okay? Almost finished this little section. And that's basically it, because what I want to do now, that's just under 10 minutes, and I want us to now look at the assignment. That's what I'm going to do in the next clip, okay? let's go to the next clip if you want to look at assignments.